Into Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, the music industry is always taking advantage. The music industry is always taking advantage of the church. In a clip of the celebrated pastor preaching, he claimed that the church nurtures talented singer who uses the religious institution to hone their skills and access opportunities before abandoning it in search of success in the secular music. In probably the last 50 years, no one has cheated the church like the music industry. What most of them has ever done is to use the church, Pastor Chris said. He added that many secular musicians started from the church when they sang in the choir before leaving the fold to join the music industry, where he claims they were exposed to satanic ideas. Pastor Chris advised churches to not allow talented musicians to take advantage of the church. Instead, they should join other aspects of the church to prove their stewardship. This story is quite interesting. We've been seeing this play out for a while now. But let me go to you, Pastor Apostle D. Emmanuel. What do you make of this story generally? Hello, Apostle. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, so while we sort out Apostle, I think we're having some technical hitches, but while we sort him out, I'll come to you, Henry Glose. Henry Glose is here, right here with me in the studio. Henry Glose, what do you make of this story generally?
Well, I won't say he's lying. Neither will I say he's completely right about this whole thing.
Okay.
As an artist in the church rather, or should I say, as a talent in the church, when the church isn't giving you what you want, you have to leave and search for what you want. Let's say I had a story about Rema some time ago. I used to hear he's a choir star in the church. I believe the church wasn't giving him that attention he needed, and I believe the church wasn't really ready to take care of him.
Okay.
I didn't want to say, I don't want to use my story as a worker in the church. This most of the time churches don't recognize their talents. Most of the time churches are not ready to support their talent. They tend to use you. Okay, let's go this way. Let me be plain now. When the church is making a billboard, they will put that guest artist face very big, and then they will put other guest artists there, other pastors and all those things. And then the chorister, that choir master in the church, his face is not on that billboard. How do you want him to feel? How do you want those persons to feel? Like, it's really bad that the church will invite a guest minister, put them on flyers and billboards and all those things, while the in-house ministers don't get that exposure. At the end of the day, I will leave. Like, I would want you to put my face on that billboard, and then I will charge you for it. So that's what most of all these talents do.
You charge a church that helped you grow.
A church did not help me grow.
Okay.
If the church had all the talents Pastor Chris has supported, from the likes of Sinach, Frank Edward, they perform in the church. I watch most of those their big events. They perform in the church. Whenever they are called, they come on air, they do whatever the pastor tells them to do. So I think what he's talking about is those ones that went to the secular sector of the music. Leaving the church doesn't mean they don't serve. I serve in the church. I'm in the media in my church. And several times I go to my pastor, this is that. I share my ideas with him on how to help the church grow. That does not mean that I have to stick. You know, some people are looking for ways to survive. These ministers, music is a tough thing. And if I take a proposal to the church that I want to record this song and it's costing this amount and all those things, most churches will tell you they can't afford those costs. Well, in Pastor Chris' shoes, is because he has all those things and is willing to support them. Now he's talking about this based on his own perspective, what he had to offer to these artists. What about churches that cannot nurture these talents? What do you say about them? What about churches that has more talents that they cannot nurture? Well, so the whole thing is, I don't think this is a cheat to the church. Nobody is cheating the church. and the church is not cheating anybody. If you nurture a talent and it sticks with you, it's a win for you. If you don't nurture it, it doesn't stick with you. That's all I have to say about it.
So what if you nurture it and it still doesn't stick with you? Because that's what he's saying now.
He should mention the ones that he nurtured that didn't stick. He should call name, like Timmy Dakolo will say. Call the name of the person. Call that artist. Don't just say generally, because I have artists in my church. My church nurtured 1 or 2 artists, and they are on their own. Never again has my pastor come on air to say that this person left after everything we did for him. You're a church. You did something for somebody. You don't have to come on air and talk about it. It's bad. It's a bad reputation. So
I don't know, Apostle Emmanuel, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, so generally, what's your take on this particular matter, sir? Okay, I can hear you now, but I think the network is... Yes, I can hear you now. We can hear you now, sir.
Your question, because I lost you during your question.
Okay, so my question was, what's your take generally on the matter, sir? What's your take? What do you make of this story generally?
Well, every has its own conduct.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
In the conduct, in you have, so there's always a way to, now the church, it still comes there, it goes there. So there is a way things are done. The issue is fight against music. Music is good. It's not a fight against society is good. But it is fight against people wanting to be part of the church for their personal gain. You know what I'm saying? So if you are doing ministry in the church, let it be because it was done. Not bringing the worldly pattern inside it. Let me give you a quick example. A church, for instance, is worship is don't God. So everyone talks the act of worship and God, not for what it should be. There is difference between a ministry and music business. I think the same people do that. It means you don't use just a music ministry. In business, that's what it is transactional. I charge this one, just like buy and service. Ministry is service unto God. Ministry is basic service, what you do, and unto unto men. And in turn, just for it. Don't do it in that way. You are trying to bring in business, transactional. That's where the problem is. So a line is wrong. You separate between business and ministry. I think if that line is drawn, that's when we are going to have, it is going to be good for everyone, so that there is no confusion in it. Because now, some people are saying about people like that, business.
Okay, Pastor, can you hear me, sir? Apostle, can you hear us, sir? Okay, so I'm saying, Pastor Chris said that this talent move away from the church to the secular space. I don't know if you can hear me. He's saying this talent move away from the church. Yes, I don't know if you can hear me now. Yes, Pastor Chris. Yes, Pastor Chris's story is what I'm talking about. So I'm saying he said that these people use the church to grow. Yeah, and they all of a sudden become bigger than the church. The church can no longer afford them. The church have events. They invite these people. These people charge the church. That helped them hone their skill. So my question to you is, what do you make of this story generally before we dive into the nitty-gritty and the fact that, okay, the church that helped them grow, or the church needs their services and they are not available, they're not readily available, or they give excuses. It's not once, not twice, not 3 times, not twice. What's your take generally on this matter before we go to the business aspect of it? Because now you've grown. Yeah, you cannot remain small. Obi will not remain a boy forever. You have to grow, and even when you grow, there will be a thin line between business and friendship or church, so to speak, because it's your talent. You've grown. You made sacrifices to get to where you are now. That's why the church still also requires you. If you did not grow, they will leave you and go to the next big thing. But before we go to that, what's your take generally on this matter, sir?
On that,
yeah,
it's growing. I mean, so much. But some other appointment that you have to use. I know that story. There's a saying: you don't buy the that are fake. You think good people will only get that happen. They only it's bound to happen, but you grow up in certain things within the thing. You didn't sacrifice. But when the issue is now how you live, that's what matters. If you live right, you live because it's your time. God appointed us for you to live, for which you would know you have an award business, your pastor will live from. But if you live, for who you live, you need to get through any crooked way. That's the problem. Now, getting to that point today, you are going so big, you don't cannot afford to do. See, there is the church and there is the war. Different things. In the church, no matter how much you everybody is serving in the church. No matter how big that is, you must church you belong to. You must have a church you worship in. You must have church you offer your service on to go in. And you mustn't be charging that. But you are inviting other places and all that. The people that are inviting you can put the bills and anything, no problem. Your daughter church or the house church you are in, they suppose to what you do, there is no problem. But you cannot be in the church and argue with people, and that's the problem. Because that one is full of savings. If you want to do people, go out there, compete with your mates. You know, this is what we are doing now. Compete with your mates and musicians or outside the church and see if you start. Don't be in the church and start like Pastor Chris said, and start thinking with, you know, with them. This is just what anybody else. You are thinking because you are doing business under the guise of church. That's the problem.
So Henry, what do you have something to add to this? Because he said his take is you being in the church and charging the church that you worship in. Like you now, you said you work in the media space in your church. Would you accept pay, or would you want to be paid while you work in the media space?
Obviously, yes. If I was given the opportunity, I would want to be paid.
Okay.
But
so
then
don't you feel like from what Pastor
I do what I do in my church because I love what I do.
Okay.
Everybody around me knows I love the media. I love shooting pictures. I love making videos. I love creating. So I'm doing it for free.
Okay.
But then there are people in the same media who cannot afford the kind of life I'm living that would want to be paid. So if they are giving that offer, and then just because people are doing something for free doesn't give you the pastor or the church, or how do I put it, the church team, or how do they put it, the right to enslave them. In most churches, they actually enslave their workers. They actually overload them with work, and they make it look like it's compulsory for you to do that work. For me, I make them understand that whatever thing I'm doing for the church, you're not paying me. It's not compulsory. I'm doing it for the love I have.
Okay, so if you want to be paid, or if you want others to be paid, he is saying that if you worship in a church, if you're a member of a church, now you want, and you're a worker,
Okay.
what you do for the church is seen as service. Now, if you are paid for it, that means it's no longer service.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Apostle, he says he doesn't care. Sir, what your last word on this particular matter before we move to our next story, sir? Yeah, can you hear me, Apostle? Oh, okay. Yes. He's saying if my guest here in the studio said that he won't mind being paid worshiping in the church. He works in a media department, and I was like, okay. I asked him if, because you said if you worship in a church and you serve as a worker, that should be your service, and if you are being paid, where is the service? He says he doesn't care that he should be paid. Your last word on that one before we move to our next story, sir. Yeah.
Payment is there. The only difference is the mode of payment.
Okay.
When it comes to ministry, I'm going to that you don't want to come out of the office as quoted. Jesus Christ has quoted by the apostle. Those that spend their life spreading the gospel, they live from the gospel to the gospel. Those who will become as full-time workers, I do have an issue for every believer. Those become as full-time workers, percentile workers, they are playing full-time role in the church, and taking sensitive roles like choir, security officials, because especially people that play other roles in the church, that they have it's an instruction in the Bible.
Okay.
But the difference is,
Can I say something?
will not have to do the price. The moment this is how much, this is feel, it's no longer business. This is how much I offer a service in business. You need to serve willingly, then God through men will bless. For payment, you please the king. The moment without seeing the order of ministry, that's where they become. Then last on that means, when it comes to serving your local assembly,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily, I think in the church was a years, alright? And the pastor was asking how much I said, I don't know. When it comes to that aspect, whether they do or they don't get the title that
Okay, Henry, you had something to say?
No, I want to just say that it's quite frustrating to see somebody from the streets dedicated to the church and serving the church and not benefiting anything from the church. You understand? We are Nigerians. Let's be plain with how our life is. I don't just go to church. I go to church. One, I pick a department in church. Let's say music. Two, because it's music we're talking about. And then I sponsor my recordings. And at the end of the day, you want me to come and perform for free.
So the truth is, this church is a place where you learn things. Like you work in the media department now.
But it's not a place where they recorded for me.
Okay, so you take pictures, yeah?
Yes.
You make videos of people, you make videos of things. Nobody is mandating you necessarily. From what Pastor Apostle is saying is, you can go outside, do your thing. Yes, but when you come to the church where you worship, know that it's an act of service.
Okay,
you are permitted to go out.
Can we deliberate more? Can we deliberate? You saying media? The media doesn't have effects in church because I don't charge the church. Okay. But let's say the music, because it's music he's talking about, right? Now, I'm an artist.
Okay.
Apostle the Emmanuel is an artist. Okay. He knows how much it costs to record a song. He knows how much it costs to promote a song, and he knows how much it costs to do many things in music. And then just because he is a servant in the church doesn't mean that he will go to the church and perform for free, except he chooses to. So if If it was a church that made all those expenses for him, fine, they have the rights to control him. But then the church did not make all those expenses, and then he chooses to part ways and said, okay, I'm going to charge you, or I don't want to do it for the church again. How do we not do it? So there's nothing there to talk about.